Did you know how important it is for you to understand the Instagram's metric that the platform gives you in order for you to do a correct job inside the platform? If you have doubt about this boring mathematical thing, you are in the right place. Today, we are going to talk about what are the metrics, what do they tell us, and so you will have no doubt for the future. First of all, you need to understand that Instagram metrics are divided into 3 parts: reach, interactions, and followers. Knowing this, today I'm going to explain you 6 essential points for you to understand all of the metrics and be able to do your job as a social media manager correctly. There is no use for you to start getting new clients and new clients, a lot of clients, without knowing these things, because what's going to happen is you're going to reach to a point that the client is not going to be happy because we are not tracking what is working and what is not. The first point is, how do we measure if the client's Instagram account is actually growing in numbers as well as engagement? When you open the insights of a profile, you are able to see the metrics of 7, 14, 30, last week, last month, or custom date range. But for me to do a very complete analysis, which of these options should I choose? Well, this information is going to depend on which kind of information you're looking for. Let's say that the client had a campaign, right? Maybe it was a holiday and the client had a promo going on. So you want to measure what was the success of this campaign within social media. You can customize as custom range, pick the dates that the campaign was live in order for you to see how it compares to the previous period. Now, what I really like to do is I focus on 2 of these options. First of all is 7 days. Within 7 days, I like to go back to the metrics and see what worked and what didn't work within that week. Because instead of me going back only 30 days and seeing, oh, this didn't work last month, I can make modifications right away and not waste time. This also serves to see if the new people that are coming in, are they interacting more? Are they not interacting? Are they liking the content? And so I need to know in order to make the next steps. So when you're using the 7-day metrics, besides the metrics that the platform gives you, you can also track the time of post to see which time of the day worked best and also what kind of content worked best within that week. So you can know for the next time, if noon is a time that worked best for that profile, then maybe the strategy should be to test it the next week in order to see if that's cohesive and consistent in order to continue posting around that same time. The other option that I really like is the monthly metrics. Why? Because I need to present to my client the monthly report. And so I need to know for the next month what we need to adjust to continue getting into their objectives and goals. An important piece of information for you to keep in mind is that the metrics can be divided into 2 sections. Basically, one could be brand awareness and the other one could be sales. Now, if the client is looking only for sales, we have very limited visibility within the platform only. And that is important for you to tell your clients so that they are aware of this piece of information that is crucial. Now, if they're looking for brand awareness, we can measure that very nicely through these metrics. We can look at profile visits, we can look at reach, but we also need to look at engagement rate, which is calculated by total reach divided by total engagement, and that is going to give you the percentage of engagement. The second doubt people have about metrics is, what kind of content should I be focusing on? Is it posts? Is it stories? Is it reels? Is it carousel posts? The client will be able to show the behind the scenes, what happens within the company. And you, as the social media manager, need to tell them that stories are important, because there is no use in having the best product out there if you don't have people's trust. And this format of material is when and where you are going to start earning more and more of their trust. If you and your client use this tool properly, it is definitely a game changer. On the other hand, Reels are a great tool in order to increase brand awareness. The platform has said, and it's not a big news, that they do basically deliver your content, if it's a reel or a video format, a lot more than a picture. It's where you can spark interest. You can bring people back to the page in order to make them translate into a loyal customer. And this is where the other kinds of posts come in. Because let's say that they saw one of your reels, your client's reels, and then they go back to the page. Are they going to find content in there that they can relate to? Are they going to find more about the brand? What are they about? Carousel posts offer a very good solution to present to this client or this viewer a content that is a little bit more dense, a content that explains a lot more than a 1-minute video. It's also important for you to know carousel posts are also very important for the algorithm, because if the person stays more time either reading a text in the carousel post, going through the slides, or even if it is only photos, it tells the algorithm that the person is interested in your content, and so it will deliver that content to more people and to that person your future posts. The more people stay on your page or your client's page, the more the algorithm will understand that this topic is relevant to them. The third thing is, why should we be looking at the audience data? Why is it important for us to know where they're located, what's their age, their gender, their city, their country, whatever it may be? Well, that is because we are going to be able to see if we are targeting the customer's target audience correctly. So let's say the customer is a physical business in Miami, right? Maybe it's a med spa in Miami, but the total followers that is following us, or even now we have data about people's reach, right? Within this breakdown of demographics. If we are reaching people in California or in India, they are not going to turn into paying customers for that med spa. And then you are not doing your job of hitting those targets and coming back to your client with that data. So if you are producing content and you're reaching the wrong person, something has to change. You have to look at this data in order to be able to change things up and adapt your strategy. The fourth thing is, what is the difference between impressions and reach? Well, very simple. Reach is the number of accounts that saw that piece of content. Number of accounts or people that we were able to reach with that content. Now, impressions are the number of times, not accounts, but times that specific piece of content was shown in a person's feed or in their app. So let's say when you go into someone's page and you see 1 million views on a specific video, don't be fooled. It does not mean that they reached 1 million people. It means that that piece of content, that video was shown or watched 1 million times, which is definitely a good metric for us to see, but it is also why some people go viral, but they don't turn into anything, because it doesn't mean that all these 1 million people were people, because they were just the number of times that video was watched. It doesn't mean that they were our target audience. It doesn't mean that they are in the region that we need. It doesn't mean that they became followers or actually made an action, something to actually spark the interest to become a paying customer. Before I go into the 5th point, I want to ask you, if you're liking this content, like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell, because every week there is new content for you, social media manager. 5th point, is it really important for you to ask people to like your clients' content, or to encourage them to save or to comment on that specific piece of content? In order for us to understand that, I want to explain a little bit to you what are the engagement piece of Instagram made of. So we first have saves, likes, comments, and shares. 2 of these are hidden metrics, and 2 of these are available for the public to see. The ones available for everyone to see are likes and comments, which I believe you probably know, right? A lot of people are so concentrated in getting the likes up and getting comments. There's actually a big market to buy likes and comments, but the important ones are the ones that are hidden and nobody sees, which are the shares and the saves. What happens is, if you save a piece of content, the algorithm is understanding that you like this piece of content so much that you're going to save to go back to it again. So it's double the likes, let's put it that way. Now, if you share this piece of content, the algorithm sees it as, wow, this person really liked this content and finds it so valuable that they are going to share to other people. So if other people should see this content, I'm going to deliver this piece of content to more people. And so this is how people go viral. It's people sharing, it's people interacting, and it's a sum of the engagement, which is likes, comments, shares, and saves, that tells the algorithm that that piece of content should be seen by more and more people. And that's what the algorithm does. The more comments, the more shares, the more saves, the more likes there is, the more the algorithm is going to deliver. But those 2 that are hidden are the most important for the algorithm. But some content, you need to be aware and be very sensitive. Let's say if it is a motivational reel, does it make sense for you in the middle of the video just to say, like this content? Maybe the best would be either written instead of said, or added to the caption. All of your captions needs to have a call to action. There's studies done that people do need a sense of like instructions in order to actually make an action. Before we move to the last point, which I believe is one of the most important ones, I want to tell you that I have created another video about how to calculate how much to charge for your services. I see over and over again social media managers who are starting out and even have been in this field for a little while having this doubt. So make sure to click on the card above and check it out. I'm certain that this video is going to answer so much of your doubts and eliminate so much of your processes. The last point is, what is the difference between accounts reached interactions, and total followers. Within the account reach, you're going to be able to track if you are reaching more people that are new or your followers. There's actually a number that says that people reach about 3% of your total followers. So if the client has, 10,000 followers, it does not mean that that client is going to reach 10,000 followers or 10,000 people. Actually, they're going to be at an average of 3%. Of course, that number can be less and can be more, but on average, that's how we calculate what is a good and what is a bad engagement. You can also see what kind of people you are reaching. So, like we previously said, do they match the target audience that I want to reach? And also, how many accounts are actually seeing my content? What kind of content are they seeing? Is it reels? Is it stories? Is it videos? Is it posts? So within that section of the insights, you are able to see all of this information in order to be able to make educational decisions. Now, with engagement or interactions, here it counts all the engagement and interactions that the account had. So the likes, the shares, the saves, the comments, but also people who reacted to stories, people who took part of a poll or submitted a question in a question box in the stories. All of this counts as engagement and interaction. It's going to tell you how many accounts actually interacted with that account, with that profile, within that range, period. Here, you'll be able to see how you can improve the content and also what kind of content people were more likely to interact and be interested in. And the total number of followers, it's basic. We probably all know. It can also be an ego metric, but it's important for us to also track in order to see and compare with data outside the platform to see if we're reaching the right people and the client's goals. If you are able to understand all of the metrics and adapt your strategy based on this number, I can guarantee you that the total followers are going to grow consequently. And now I have two important messages for you. The first one is that I have prepared a very special ebook for you who are either starting out in this career or you want to scale, which is the 10 ways to earn more money as a social media manager. The link to access it is down in the description of this video as well as in the pinned comments. Make sure to check it out. The second message I want to give you is that when I started in this digital marketing world, even though I had experience in marketing, I went through some big bumps in the road and I looked for help. But either I couldn't find something that I could afford, or everything that I found was very superficial and I couldn't really know how to adapt that to my reality. With that in mind, I created the ropes to become a successful social media manager, which is a one-on-one consulting call, 1 hour with me, where you can ask me anything you will like in order to speed up your process, and so you don't have to go through the same bumps in the roads that I had to go through. So the link to it is also in the description of this video as well as in the pinned comments. I hope all this information about metrics and this boring topic for a lot of people helped you out, and leave in the comments below anything that you are still doubting, anything that was not clear, or anything that was helpful to you and maybe you didn't know before. My plan here is to continue to help you succeed and grow in the social media world. Let's start booming your business. I'll see you next time.